Lesson 77.
Yo compro.
Okay, we have a new verb for Lesson 77. That's yo compro. And yo compro is a regular verb. That means it's going to be easy to make all the different forms of yo compro. Right, Antonio?
Yes.
It's not an irregular verb. It's not a stem-changing verb like yo tengo. It's just a normal, regular verb. So we can take the stem, which is C-O-M-P-R, and we can add the personal endings to it, and that's going to give us all 6 forms of yo compro. So at the bottom of page 89, you have to fill in the proper form of yo compro. It's a little bit like math because we're taking the stem, C-O-M-P-R, and we're going to add in the personal endings. So for the first person singular, we have C-O-M-P-R, and then we add the personal ending, which is the letter O, and that gives us compro. In the second person singular, we have C-O-M-P-R, that's the stem, and we add the personal ending A-S, and that gives us compras. In the third person singular, we have the stem, C-O-M-P-R, and we add the personal ending, which is the letter A, and that gives us compra. In the first person plural, we have the stem, C-O-M-P-R, and we add the personal ending, which is A-M-O-S, and that gives us compramos. In the second person plural, we have the stem, C-O-M-P-R, and we add the ending, the personal ending, which is A-I-S, and that gives us comprais. Of course, you would see that only in Spain. In the third person plural, we have the stem, C-O-M-P-R, and we add the personal ending, which is A-N, and that gives us compran, and the accent for that form is going to be on the first syllable. So instead of compran, it's going to be compran. And if you turn the page to page 90, you can see a completed chart there with all the forms filled in, and that will help you review and study the forms of yo compro. Antonio, before we jump into our exercises, why don't you read this chart for us to help us with our pronunciation?
Sure, Bill. Yo compro. Tú compras. Él compra or ella compra. Nosotros compramos or nosotras compramos. Vosotros compráis or vosotras compráis.
Of course, you'd see that only in Spain, right, Antonio?
Yes. Ellos compran or ellas compran.
Let's go through our exercises together. In number 1, todos los días says every day. And then yo compro means I buy, and comida means food. So every day I buy food. In number 2, nosotras compramos means we buy, comida is food, and todos los días says every day. So number 2 will say, we buy food every day. In number 3, las mujeres means the women. The verb here is compran. That's third person plural because it agrees with the las mujeres. Comida means food, and todos los días means every day. So number 3 will say, the women buy food every day. In number 4, el gato means the cat, de means of, and mi hermana means my sister. The verb here is tiene, which means has, and hambre means hunger. So literally, number 4 will say, the cat of my sister has hunger. But of course, it will sound better to say, my sister's cat is hungry. In number 5, yo no tengo means I do not have. Comida means food. So what we have so far would say, I do not have food. Then we have the word y, which means and no tengo means I do not have. We left out the pronoun yo because it had already been used earlier and it just was not necessary to repeat it. Then dinero means money. So number 5 will say, I do not have food and I do not have money. In number 6, tú quieres means you want, agua means water, porque means because, and tienes means you have. We did not need to repeat the pronoun tú because we already used it. Finally, we have the word sed, which means thirst. So number 6 literally will say, you want water because you have thirst. Of course, it would be better to say, you want water because you are thirsty. In number 7, nosotras hablamos means we speak, español means Spanish, and todos los días means every day. So number 7 will say, we speak Spanish every day. In number 8, mi hermana means my sister. The verb here is habla, that's third person singular, and it means speak. It's being negated by the word no. And inglés means English. So what we have so far would say, my sister does not speak English. Then we have pero, which means but. Then another verb, habla, that's also third person singular, and it also means speak. Then we have the word español, which means Spanish. So number 8 will say, my sister does not speak English, but she speaks Spanish. Notice how with the second verb, habla, we inserted the word she to help translate it because the pronoun is included in the word habla. In number 9, buenos dias means good morning, and niños in Spanish often means children. So number 9 will say, good morning, children. In number 10, we have the word tú, and then the verb hablas. That means you speak, but we have the adverb siempre wedged in there between those two. That means always. So tú siempre hablas will say, you always speak. Then we have inglés, which means English. Then we have the word pero, which means but. And then yo hablo, that means I speak. Again, we see the adverb siempre between the pronoun and the verb. And then español means Spanish. So number 10 will say, you always speak English, but I always speak Spanish.